I just finished weaving a particular twill pattern. This is a 4-shaft loom, and I have it threaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. And I decided to do some different twill variations using the Hand Weaver's Pattern Directory. Just finished this, and as you can see, the selvages, the yarn is catching. Pretty much, it's not consistently. I'm one of those people, I'll do whatever I can to avoid floating selvages. And what I mean, anything, anything. Now this is one of the things that I found out when I decided to try the next particular pattern. Because what was happening, and I'm gonna have to bear with me right now, I need to wind this back on so we can see where some of the problems started. And what happened, this is where I was changing this pattern. I wanted to weave, I thought I'd try this pattern, then I tried this pattern. And what was happening, I know you can see I cut that off. What was happening, it wasn't catching enough. I am okay if it skips maybe 2 threads, because then it's consistent. Again, I call it organic, but it still wasn't working. I was trying all kinds of combinations of the treadles. Nothing seemed to be working the way I wanted it to work. Now what I did, as you can see now, all of a sudden, I have the new pattern right there. And it's doing a pretty nice job here. It's catching nicely. But what did I do? All right, we're going to take a closer look at the heddles, and you can see what I did to get what I wanted for this pattern. What did I do? Well, like I said, the threading here was, the heddles are supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, what I did was I took the 1 out. You can see it's still here, there's nothing in it. There's the heddle. And I moved it to 3. All right. I did the same thing on the other side. Well, I didn't move it till 3. I took, you can go over to the other side. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it very well or not without me moving the camera. All right, let me stop the camera, stop and move the camera. On the right side, the heddle, this heddle was on 4, you can see 4, and I moved it down to 2. I probably could have figured this out mathematically, but sometimes I like to play around and see what would work. Then I did some weaving and I found out that it caught nicely the way I prefer to have the selvages without using the floating selvage. And this is the book that I was using to do some of the patterns. And what I was doing at first, I was just doing a regular zigzag, everything worked out. But then I wanted to do this pattern, and this is the pattern I'm doing right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 3, and 2. So let's see what happens as I weave that pattern. One, 2, 3, 4. And as you can tell, if I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and consistently had no problem. The problem happens, or the change happens, is when you decide to use different treadles. Sometimes I understand, okay, now we're in 4, I'm going to go 3 and 2. And as you can see, it doesn't always catch on the edge there, but you can see how consistent it is. And the same thing on the other side. It's consistent. I think it catches every 3rd. This one is every other one, and this one, I believe, it comes down to when you get to the one pattern here. See if I can zero in on it a little bit more. Oh, sorry about that. So if I flip it to the other side here, if you can see, it doesn't catch all the time. However, this is the side that's going to show. Once it's washed and dried, it'll all shrink up. Now I know sometimes you can work on these patterns and start with another set of 2. and it'll work. But anyway, this is just one way I resolved this particular issue. Yes, if I decide to do another pattern in the book, yeah, I might need to change things back again.